Okay, so this one, okay, you have to draw a pie chart based on the categorical here. Okay, remember that in this situation, you don't have to draw the same as what you did during your school time. Okay, you have to draw using the protector, calculate exactly the angle, everything. So you don't need that because in this situation, you just need to estimate the size based on a rational values. All right. So the most the easier way for you to come up with the pie chart for this one. Okay, if you want to draw the bar chart, they will ask you to draw the bar chart, but in this question, they ask you to construct a pie chart. So what you can do is just simply calculating the percentage for each of the categories. Okay, for example, in this case, the total number of okay, the total number here of the number of customer will be 950, right? So what you can do is just calculate the percentage for each of the uh, each category, because you know that in a pie chart, okay, the whole thing is 100%, right? So you can base on percentage value in order to determine the how big is the slice for the each of the category. For example, for the first one here, you can take this one is going to be 200 divided by 950, and then you multiply with 100%, right? So in this case, this will give you somewhere around 21%. Okay, so you do the same thing for 350 divided 950, and then you get the percentage. And based on this thing, you can draw your slice. Okay, so for example, how to draw the slice? You know that you can draw this if you divide this into 4 equal parts. It's going to be each part have 25%, right? So that means if you draw here straight, you get 25%. So 21% will be somewhere around something like that. So this gives you the 21%. Okay. So how to solve this one? So I've drawn the pie chart using Excel. So you can just do this. So this is what you're gonna have. Okay. So you can just come up with the percentage value: 21%, 37%, 32%, and 11%. And then based on this value, you can come up with your pie chart. Okay. So it's up to you to just use a plain one without the color. It's okay, no problem. And then just put the number inside here. Okay, so here you have the number and also the percentage. Okay, and remember, whenever you draw a pie chart, you must have the title. For example, in this case, customer registered for Happy Fit service group by each category. Okay, and then you have the category down here. You have the legend. You have if you don't have the legend, make sure you have the categories printed on the pie chart itself. Okay, contohnya kalau kat sini dah ada adolescent 157%, you don't need the legend anymore. Okay, so this is basically how you draw the pie chart. Yes, question number 3 and question number 4 will deal with chapter 3. Okay, we'll deal with chapter 3 in your textbook, where question number 3 in this question is related to the ungrouped data. And then question number 4 is for the group data set. Okay, let's do it one by one first. Okay, the first one asks you to find, okay, the weight, give you the weight of 12 customer registered for HFX Fitness Studio are as follows. So you have the weight for 12 customer: 110, 90, 65, 100, 95, 75, 90, 85, 80, 70, 75, and 90. Okay. And then you are asked to find the mod and the comment on the value obtained. So to find the mod, you just simply need to find the value that occur most often. So if you see here, it's good if you can just rearrange everything in ascending order, so that you can see clearly how when if there exists any mode. But if you didn't do that, also it's okay, because you are not going to find the median. Okay, unless you want to find the median, then you have to arrange the data in proper order. Or if you want to find the quartile, also you need to arrange the data in proper order. Okay, if you arrange the data in proper order, you can get from the lowest to the highest. For example, the lowest here is 70, so you can write down 70 first. Okay, so in this case, if you look through roughly here, you can see that you have a unique mode where you can see 90 occur 3 times. So you have 90 over here, so you have 90 over here, and also here. Okay, you have 90 3 times. So that means in this case, you have a unique mode, because the only value that occur 3 times is 90. There's no other value occur more than 3 times, or same as 90 occur 3 times. So that means in this x hat, so this is equal to 90. Okay, so and then comment on the value obtained. So remember, whenever you want to comment the model value, you must have the word most. So what you can say here, most of the customer registered for HFX Fitness Studio has weight of 90 kilogram. Okay, so boleh katakan most of the customer with 90 kilogram. So that is the simple form. Okay, so finding the value for the mod is 1 marks, and then explain the value is another 1 mark, right? Okay, the next thing that you need to do is to calculate the mod. Yes, saya.
Boleh ulang lagi sekali tak yang komen tu?
Okay, yang komen. Okay. Okay, in term of the comment, so whenever, okay, I give you comment untuk what you need to do in term of comment for mean, median dengan mode. Okay, for mean, you must have the word on the average ataupun average. Okay, so perkataan average tu mesti ada. For median, whenever you want to comment, you must have the word either 50% of the data ataupun you have the words half of the data. Okay, ataupun kat sini kalau katakan weight, half, kalau kata kat sini customer, you boleh katakan half of the customer weight below something, right? Itu untuk median. Tapi untuk mode, you must have the word most, M-O-S-T. Okay, you can see most. Okay, you must have the word most. So what you can say here, most of the customer weight 90 kilograms. Okay, so most of the customer weight 90 kilogram. So enough. So itu dah cukup dah, right? Boleh? Boleh. Okay, next one that we want to find here right now is the mean and the standard deviation. So this is an ungrouped data set. Okay, the easiest way to find the mean and standard deviation is by using the formula kan. So nak cari formula lah. So you need to write the formula, and then you need to come up with the summation value. Okay, so I will bring up my calculator. Okay, for you to calculate the formula. Okay, let's say this is my calculator. Okay, this is using calculator 991. This one is the ES calculator, right? So either 570 or 991 ES plus. Okay, if you are using 991 EX ataupun 570 EX, you can check on my other video. And so actually both of these I've shown you in the video. There is a slight difference in terms of the usage, right? Okay, in terms of the function here. So for the EX button, EX model, you have the option button over here, but this one is okay, right? So let me just click on the, okay, just clear everything first. Okay, so this is the one So now you want the to calculate the mean and the standard deviation, and you want the summation first. So you need to find the summation. Okay, so in this case, you need to find the summation of x and also summation of y. Okay, so let me just open. Okay, let me just click this one first. I will copy this in words, and then we're gonna work on words. Okay, so that I can just write on top of that. Paste. Okay, this is your data set, right? Okay, so let me bring up my calculator again. So you want to find the you want to find the summation value, right? So you want to find the summation value. So what you need to do right now is just simply convert or change the mode to the statistical mode. So click on mode, and then you have number 3 here, the statistic. So choose number 3. Okay, so now you want the one variable, so choose number 1. Okay, now you have the frequency. Okay, this is the frequency mode has been activated. Because this is ungrouped data, you don't want the frequency, right? So just clear this one first. Shift mode to open a new window over here, and then you scroll down and see number 4. You have stat. Okay, you have stat number 4 here. So click on this one. So you want to turn off the frequency. Right now you are not using frequency, you are just using just a single value, right? So you need to turn off the frequency, because just now you see that it is turned on. So click number 2, press number 2, and now you have turned off the frequency. Okay, to enter the data, just go back to your let me check. Okay, I think shift number 1, right? Okay, shift number 1. Okay, press on shift number 1. Okay, you want to enter the data, so number 2 is data, so click number 2. Okay, now you are already in the edit mode. Okay, you are ready to enter the data, so enter the data correctly. So 110, click equal sign to store the first data, and then 90 equal, and then 65 equal, 100 equal, 95 equal, 75 equal, 90 equal, 85 equal, 80 equal, 70 equal, 75 equal, then 90 equal. Okay, so now you are done with entering the data. So you have 12 data set here. Okay, you have 12 data. So now you can just clear the screen, computer screen first. Okay, now you want to find the summation. So again, press shift number 1. So just now we are using number 2, that is data entry. So now you want the summation, so choose number 3. So number 3. Okay, you want the summation of x, right? So summation of x will be number 2. So you write down 2 equal. So that means your summation of x is 1025. So you have 1025, right? So draw. So summation of x is equal to 1025. Okay, bring up back my calculator. So you want the second one, you want summation of x squared. So shift number 1, number 3. and then x squared will be number 1, so equal sign. So you have summation of x squared is equal to how many tadi? 89425. Okay, 89425. And then the question asks you to find the mean, right? So mean is given by x bar. So write down the formula is equal to summation of x divided by n. So this gives you 1025 divided by n is equal to 12, right? So this gives you the answer. So to find the answer, you just need to press the shift button, number 1 again. So now you want the answer. The answer is number 4, that is variable. So choose number 4. So you want the x bar, right? So x bar will be 2. So choose number 2 and then equal sign. So you get the answer to be 85.416667. Okay, so you get 85.416. So 85.416667, for example. Okay, so that is for x bar. And then you need the standard deviation, right? So standard deviation is given by, okay, you can find the variance first, or you can just find the standard deviation. So S is equal to, okay, so what is the formula for S? So it will be the square root of 1 over n minus 1 summation of x square minus summation of x square divided by n, right? Okay, so what you need to do is just simply substitute the value. So you have square root of 1 over 11 times 89425 minus 1825 square divided by 12. Okay, and then find the answer from your calculator. So bring up the calculator again. So shift number 1, and you want number 4, that is for the variable. And then you want the number 4 as x, because this is a sample, not a population. So you want number 4, right? So 4. Okay, and then click equal sign. So you get this to be 13.0486. So 13.0486. Okay, so that is for the standard deviation. All right. So any questions so far? So you get the mean and the standard deviation. Okay. So the next thing that you are asked is to find the shape or describe the shape of the distribution using appropriate measurement. So in this case, you can use the Pearson measures of skewness, because it's already given here. You already know the value of the mean, the standard deviation, and also you know the value of the mode, right? So that means you can use the Pearson measures of skewness. So how to do that? So you can just use the skewness is equal to the mean minus mode divided by the standard deviation. Okay, okay. So in this case, you have the mean just now. Your mean value is 85.4. Okay, just take 85.4. Okay, you have 85.4 minus your mode value is 90. So divide by standard deviation. Just now you have 13.04 or 13.0486. Okay, 13 0.0486. Okay, so when you calculate this one, you should get the values to be. So let me just calculate this one. So you get 85.4 minus 90 equal to this one divided by 13.0485. Okay, 0.0486, sorry. Okay, so you get negative 0.3525. So you get negative 0.3525. So this is less than 0, right? So the value here is less than 0. So that means your data, the shape of your data is, the shape of the distribution for your data will be left skewed or negatively skewed. Okay, any questions on that? Next one that we're going to look at, this one is related to the group data set. So again, for this part, so in order to find the mean and the standard deviation for group data set, I've shown you in the calculation using the calculator in my video. Okay, you can check on that one. Okay, so for the mean and the standard deviation, if you want to do this, let's just do it very fast. Okay, before that, we need to get the midpoint, right? So we need to get the midpoint for each of this data. So for the first one, the midpoint x, okay, will be 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, right? So 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And then the number of customer will be the frequency. Okay, let's see how we can do this. Okay, we're gonna get the answer terus. So nanti dalam exam you have to show the working. Okay, cuma kita nak shortcut. So the actual way of writing your answer will be get the summation value. Okay, write down the summation value, summation of f dengan summation of fx. Okay, sorry, summation of fx with summation of fx square, and then write down the formula for mean, substitute the value, get the result. Similarly, for the standard deviation, write down the formula for the standard deviation, and then substitute the correct value, and then get the result. So I'm just going to show you how you can enter the data once again, okay, using your calculator. Okay, let's see for this one, okay. So this is your calculator. So let's see you want right now. So let's just clear everything first. So now you want it to be in the form of a frequency, right? Just now our stat is in the form of without the frequency. So now we want it to be in the form of with the frequency. So what you need to do is just simply shift mod, come up with the window to option of turning on and off for the frequency. So scroll down and then take number 4, that is 10. So right now you want to switch on the frequency. So click number 1, switch on. Okay, now you have switch on the frequency. So click on shift number 1 to enter data. So you want to enter data number 2. So click on number 2. So now you have the frequency. So let's enter the frequency value. So X will be 13579. So 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay. So you get that one. So now you want to have the frequency. So starting with the first row again, 12, 10, 20, 12, 10, 20, and then 10 and 8. Okay, so now you have everything. Okay, just look back here. You have 60. So let's just check whether you have 60 frequency. So clear this one. So let's say we just want to check whether you have the correct number or not. So let's see the sum here, number 3. Okay, you want the summation of fx, right? So number 2. So you have the summation of fx to be 284. So in this case, summation fx is equal to 284. And then for summation of fx square, shift number 1, and then take the sum number 3. So you get number 1. So you get this to be 1740. So summation of fx square is 1740. Okay, so to calculate the mean, write down the formula for the mean and then substitute these two values. Okay, the values. So you know that this one n is equal to 60, right? So n is equal to 60. So that means 284 divided by 60, you get the mean. So here you can get the value for the mean equal to 1, and then the value for the standard deviation equal to 1. Okay, to find the answer from your calculator, okay, go back and shift number 1 again, and then right now choose number 4. So you want the mean is number 2. So number 2 give you the mean 4.73. Okay, you get this. Okay, this one is 4.73. And then to find the standard deviation, okay, again shift number 1 and then take number 4, the variable. Okay, you want the sample that is 4, right? So 4 equal sign. So you get 2.59. Okay, 2.59, right? So the standard deviation is 2.59. All right. So that is for the mean and the standard deviation. Remember, in the exam, you cannot just simply write the answer only. You must show the work. So what is the working that you need to show? List down the summation value, write the formula, substitute the value, and then baru tulis dia punya jawapan. Same thing with standard deviation. Write down the formula, substitute the value into the formula, and then write down the answer. Okay. The next thing that we're going to look at is the construct the less than or if. Okay, how to construct the less than or if. Okay, in order to construct the less than or if, you need the cumulative frequency. Okay, so how to get the cumulative frequency? So here I already done it for you. So let's check for this one. Okay, this is your data set. Okay, let me make it bigger. Okay, you can see this one. Let me just move this away. Saya ubah sikit ke sini. So this is your data set. So you have the lower boundary. So start with the lower boundary. So 0. So lower boundary is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And then you want to find the cumulative frequency. So this is the cumulative frequency. So it is mean that what is the frequency less than 0? So that will be 0. Less than 2 will be 12, and then less than 4 will be 12 with and 10, so you get 22. Less than 4, you get 42. Okay, it's a sum of 12, 10, and 20, and then so on, right? So you get from 0 to 60. So with this value, you come out with your ogive. So this will be your ogive. So starting with 0, so the bottom part will be the lower class boundary. So this one will be the weight loss. So this is the weight. Okay, so this will be the weight loss, and then this will be the number of customers. So n here, right? So the axis will be n number of customers. So just now I forgot to put the axis. And make sure you have the title over here. Okay, title. So this gives you the ogive. Okay, in terms of drawing the ogive, you don't need to draw using a smooth line. Okay, tak perlu dah nak tambah daripada one point to another point. You want to make it smooth, so you draw very smooth line. So you don't need that. So what you just need to do is on a graph paper, you draw the points, and then just using your ruler, okay, or anything, just connect the points with a straight line. Okay, you connect saja point. So one point to another, just connect a straight line over there. So just connect saja. You don't need to have a smooth line, right? Okay, so this is your ogive. So that answer the question for this part, the first one. Okay, construct a less than ogive. Okay, the second part asks you to find the value of x if 75% of the customer lose their weight more than 8 kilogram. Okay, more than x kilogram. Dia nakkan 75% of the customer lose their weight more than x%. So you kena hati-hati kat sini. You have to be careful because in this situation they ask you with weight more than x%. Okay, number of customer that lose weight more than x%. So dia nakkan 75% of the customer. Okay, the value of x if 75% of the customer lose their weight more than 75, more than x kilogram. So what you need to do right now is to calculate 75% because you are using less than ogive. Okay, bila you gunakan less than ogive, what it says here, the value that you have is less, the percentage is less than the weight loss of how many kilogram. So right now is the reverse process because they want you the more than. Okay, so to get the 75% more than, because you are using the less than ogive, you need to find not the 75%, but you need to find the 25%. Okay, because whenever you find the 25% that has weight loss less than certain value, it gives you the 75% of it more than the value, more than the x kilogram. So in this case, what you need to do is to find actually the 25%. So 25% of what? 25% of the total. So the total is 60, right? So that means it will be, the number is 15, right? So go back to your graph. Okay, so go back to your graph. Now you have to draw a line. So let me just insert a line over here. Dia line kat sini. Let's start with a line. Okay, tak apa. Okay, so in this case, what you need to do is to find the value of 15. It will be some, sorry. Okay, so you have 15 over here. Okay, you draw 15 until you reach the graph. Okay, this one you have to use the graph paper and then find the value down here. Okay, so this will be the x weight. So for example, in this case, you get around 2.3, for example, 2.3, approximately 2.3. So which means that, so 2.3, sorry, 25% of your customer has weight loss less than 2.3. So 75% more is have weight loss more than 2.3. So that's why The value here is 2.3. The actual value will be x is equal to 2.3. So this number you have to come up with the correct one using your graph paper. Okay, for this case saya tak boleh lagi lah yang tepat sebab I'm not using graph paper. So for your case you have to use the graph paper. So be careful with the terms. Okay, so if this is the case, kalau katakan soalan ni, okay, if you are using less than or if, and the question asks you 75% of the customer lost their weight less than X kilogram. So you are using less than. So you are looking also for less than. So then you are going to use the 75%. But in this question, you are using the less than or if, but the question asks you for more than X kilogram. So that's why you have to use the reciprocal, that is using 25%, not the 75%. Okay. Sebab dalam konsep ni, bila less than, 25% is less than that value, 75% is more than that value. So you have to find using the 25%. Tapi kalau soalan dikatakan less than X, so that means you have to use the 75%. Alright. And then the second one asks you the number of customer who has lost their weight less than 6 kg. Yang ni dia gunakan less than. So berapa ramai customer yang kurang, dia punya, yang berat dia kurang sebanyak 6 kg. Okay, so go back to this one. So you look at 6. Okay, so you look at 6. So this gives you this one. So that means this is 42, right? So you have this one. So it is 42. Okay, 42 people has weight less than 6 kg, has lost their weight for 6 kg. So that means 42 customer, right? So this is the situation. So untuk jawab yang ni, the number of customer who has lost their weight less than 6 kg. So it will be 42. So for this one, it will be X is approximately 2.3 kilogram. Okay. Okay, lastly, the question asks you to make comparison, and the question wants you to find a more consistent. So that means in this case, when you want to make comparison, you have to find the CV. Okay, so you want to find the CV for male and female. So CV for male. So this is the data that you have just calculated just now. So this is 2.59 divided by 4.73. So you get 2.59 divided by 4.73 multiplied with 100. So this gives you for male. So when you calculate this one, so you get 2.59 divide by 4.73 multiply with 100. So you get 547. Betul ke ni? 1000 pula dah. Okay, so 54.7. Okay, so terlebih 10. 54.8. 54.8. Okay, and then this is for male, and then you have to find the CV for female. So the same thing. So you have the female customer, the mean and standard deviation. Okay, remember, make sure that this is standard deviation. If it's given in the form of variance, so you have to take the square root. Okay, so this one is already in standard deviation. So you have 1.5 divided by 6 and then multiply with 100. So this will give you 1.5 divided by 6 multiply, 1.5 divided by 6 multiply with 100. So this gives you 25%. Okay, So they want a more consistent. Okay, so they want a more consistent values. So that means if they want a more consistent value, so you have to look at a lower value. So the lower value here is 25. So that means which gender has a more consistent distribution. So in this situation, female has a more consistent distribution in terms of weight loss. All right. So that is the answer for the last one. So any questions on that?